welcome to my channel.
From About That Life podcast. I'm doing interviews. I want to start doing, we're going to start doing AAU interviews, getting takes from parents, getting takes from people, kind of seeing what they think of AAU, see how they think of it, what they like about it. We're going to talk to kids, we're going to talk to parents. This whole thing is a culture in itself, so it's pretty crazy. So, all right, I'm here with my boy Rodney. He's been repping a long time. He's been in this AAU, doing this AAU reffing, high school reffing. He knew me back when I was hooping, when he used to hoop, and he was pretty good too. I was still better, but he was pretty good. But no, I've got a couple questions for you as a ref in this AAU game, in this AAU world, because basically my channel is all about kind of exposing people to this culture and to this crazy world of AAU basketball.
Right.
From a ref's perspective, what would you take as the good, and of course, what would you take as the bad out of it?
I think it's a great environment for kids to learn, as long as the coaches are focused on that aspect of it. When they start taking away from the learning aspect and focusing on just the winning, I think that kind of hurts the team or the players individually, the team as a whole.
Totally agree.
Also, with the parents involved with that same mentality of just win, I think the kids kind of lose their focus on their development. When the coaches have that ability to incorporate the fundamentals, the hustle, the discipline, as a student athlete, I think that's when AAU is at its finest.
Okay. So then, of course, you being a ref, and you know, we joke about it, but seeing all the time, you've dealt with some high-intensity games, whether it be some one random weekend here at Courtside, or it could be because you've done high school, so you've seen the high-level high school games. Parents, obviously, and you being on the side of the official, they can be a lot, right? But you're one of the officials, I know, just from personal experience, you handle the shit well. You make jokes about it, you laugh about it. He's super animated and funny if you guys ever see him rep. But it's like, me and you have that relationship, we joke and can joke about it. What would you say to parents when they kind of make the official's job super hard? Because I want to speak to your guys' perspective. Like, what would you say to them?
As a referee, the most important thing is being able to manage the game. If you have thick skin, you'll be a good referee. If you focus on the things that's going on the court and try to exclude the things that are going off the court with the parents, the yelling, complaining, becoming really animated, as a referee, you'll do well. I say to the parents, we're not perfect. We may miss a call here and there. Obviously, most referees are not going to say, oh, my bad, I made a mistake. So don't look for a ref to be like, yeah, you was right, let me go ahead and change that. That's not going to happen. Now, what will happen is we'll talk to the coach and explain ourselves if they ask a question. If you're telling us, hey, coach, what, or hey, referee, look out for this, hey, he's doing this and that and the other, you're just making statements. Yeah, you're just making statements. So the best thing that I can say for a coach as a spokesperson, have them talk to us in a form of a question, what are you asking us? Then we'll answer it, and then we proceed from there.
So I got two more questions for you real quick before you get to the next game. One, how important is the dialogue between, I would say, a coach and an official? Because we both have a job to do, and we're all going to see each other, you know, especially if you're in this AAU world, you see a lot of the same coaches and people over and over again. You know, you see me all the time, things like that. How important is it? Because to me, it is important to have a good dialogue, a good relationship, working relationship, if you want to call it that, with somebody, right? How important is it on the official side of it, do you think?
If you don't talk to the coach, if you don't have that dialogue with the coach, it'll become harder for you as a referee to manage the game. I say when you're talking to a coach, like I said, if they're asking questions, you're answering them, that's good. If they're not sure what's going on, they're going to get clarification from the referee. And if you can't articulate what you see and what needs to happen, then they won't be able to coach their kids into a better game. Yeah. If they're not able to do that, then the game's going to get out of hand. It may become too physical. I've seen where teams lose sight of the game and just worry about being physical, and then it turns into all out.
And that's when fights break out.
And or coaches come across onto the court, two coaches going at it because they're talking smack back and forth or whatever. So as a referee, again, I say you have to manage the game, and if a coach legitimately has a question, you're obligated, as far as I'm concerned, to answer those questions. Now, if they're constantly asking the same question over and over again, and they're trying to get some favor or something like that, because we understand how coaches are trying to get the favor instead of coaching the game, then we're going to be like, all right, coach, that's enough. We're going to talk to you, let you know, hey, let's move along.
Most definitely. So then my last question. So unfortunately, I don't know if you've seen the news, but there has been a lot of stories, unfortunately, in youth sports in general, AAU basketball being one of the biggest proponents of it. Officials getting into fist fights with fans and parents, coaches. There's this one viral video of a coach choking out another official, and the other official came and choked him. Right. Like, it's getting, and I don't know if it's the pandemic or things like that have escalated it, but it's gotten pretty fucking crazy, right? What would you say to that in general? Are these things happening? Like, obviously we don't want it to happen, but is there any words that you personally have on that?
It's happening, not a lot, but enough that it's a problem. That being said, as an official, I would advise any other official, if you're going to go out there and not talk to the coach, talk to the players, let them know what you're calling, what you see, and this, that, and the other, again, it's going to get out of hand. The whole physical violence that happens, I mainly put that on the referees. At any point in time, you can see when the tempers start flying, and you're not doing anything about it, you're just letting them play. You have to say something to somebody, if nothing else, the person that's running the gym. If you tell them that, hey, I don't like this parent over here, or I don't like this coach over here, or this player is starting to get out of hand, I need some assistance right here, we might have to give him a tee, get him out of the game, so make sure you guys help me out with that part. That still might not even go your way. No matter what you do, it's not going to go perfect. People are hell-bent maybe just on winning. No matter what you do as a ref, even if you're calling a perfect game, you're not calling it for the other team because their team is losing. So you have to be safe on that accord. So the best thing to do is just continue.
And you don't know where people are coming from, right? Some parents could have a bad day, a coach could have a bad day.
Exactly.
Kids could come from different socioeconomic circumstances. So I think you guys have to deal with kind of a bunch of variables all at once. Definitely. But that's why I wanted you to say your side of it. You got any last words before you start refereeing?
I think we got a lot of good talent out here at courtside, so everybody that's playing out here, you guys continue to work hard. Athletes, continue to work hard in practice. When you come out here, just know that we're here for your safety and for your fun.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm here interviewing Sincere. He's a high-level kid, plays for multiple teams, but your main team is iTrey, right? Kid's on the radar. Super high-level kid, been watching him develop since 6th grade. I know something you deal with all the time that I want you to speak on. Everybody thinks you're like a triple and double holdback and quadruple holdback or whatever all the time. How does that, because you're legit, so that's what I'm saying, how does that make you feel as a player? Does it bother you? Do you just say, screw it now? Do you just like, whatever, I don't care, I'm just out here to hoop? How do you feel about it?
It doesn't bother me. I just let them talk. I don't say nothing about it.
So you let your game do the talking?
Yeah.
Okay. So for AAU basketball in general, right? The culture of it, the competitiveness of it. What do you take that's good from it, and maybe what do you take that's bad from it?
Playing a lot of games is bad for our body. Mm-hmm. Good is we get to play competition, so we're already ready for high school.
Okay. And do you think this is getting you ready for high school?
Certain teams. Yeah.
That's a good answer. Good answer. All right. So, last question for you. As a high-level player, how important is it to have a good coach or coaches that you trust? How does that measure for you?
It is very important. Like, our coach got to know how to use his players.
Okay. And then your obviously your parents are big on helping you out with all this when it comes to AAU. How how big of a help have they been in your success?
A lot. They put me through training, put me on teams, everything.
All right, man. Well, thanks talking to me. You did a good job. I know you're nervous, but good job. All right, boy. First guy I want to interview. I've had him on my podcast, had him on my show. He's the director of Courtside Basketball. Tell me, my guy, Elijah on here. Disclaimer, this is going on YouTube, so you're agreeing to it. Just want to make that clear. Okay? I'm going to ask you a couple questions. First question. Are refs the problem in AAU? Are parents? Or what is overall the problem in AAU basketball?
I think it's a combination of both. And the reason why I say that, though, like, as a parent, you got to control your actions out here and stuff, though, you know? Like, most of the parents don't understand, though, you got to let your kid go through the battle. They don't do that. They want to fight the battle for the kid, and then it just gets too messy. Referees, they got to have a little more dialogue with the parents, with the coaches, with the players. They don't do that. So then it's a lot of tension. So nothing gets out. You know, parents don't get nothing out of it. Referees don't get nothing out of it. Coaches don't, and it just creates a big atmosphere you don't want to have, though. So.
Okay, so do we agree AAU basketball is a good thing overall?
Yes, it's a good.
Okay. So we do understand it's a good thing. And you're a director of AAU basketball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm the director of Courtside Basketball Center. I've been here for about 2 years, so yes.
And you make the schedules and you do all that good stuff, right?
Yes, I make all the schedules every week. We have a scheduler. I do it all by myself, though. I'm here about 40, 50 hours a week working on schedules. If I'm not working on the schedule, I'm working on something to make the tournaments better.
So a lot of money and a lot of time go into AAU basketball. So why do you think that some parents out there think AAU should be free, if not cheap, for their child?
That's a good question, though, because, I mean, growing up, I played at the YMCA Boys and Girls Club where it was free. Now you have more divisions. You have D2s, you have D3s, though, so I feel like it's a money grab or two at the same time, you know, and a lot of people take advantage of that, though. They see all the money coming in, and I don't know if you heard the word bad basketball sales.
Oh, yeah, bad basketball makes money.
Yes, and so that's what you have happen. You know, growing up with me and you, we had D1.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have
that was it.
D2, D3. Yeah, if you were D2 or D3, you were playing YMCA or you're playing at the Boys and Girls Club. So now, like, it's good and bad because you're giving a platform for all kids, but it's also a false sense of reality, too, though, for a lot of kids, though, you know. So that's what I don't like about it, though.
And my last question for you, especially because you're a director, and I'm probably going to ask this more to more people. When it comes to coaches, there's obviously good coaches, there's bad coaching. I'm not talking about X's and O's coaches. I mean just coaches that are just good people and bad people, right? Like they just do some shady stuff, they do some good stuff.
Yep. I've been around a lot of them, though.
What percentage, if you had to give it one, would you say the percentage of good coaches and the percentage of bad coaches?
Whew. I say it's more bad coaches, though, you know, unfortunately, though, you know, because the way AAU is now, you know, you have a lot of kids playing down, not playing the right age group. You have a lot of coaches chasing medals every weekend, and it's bringing a bad brand of basketball. So if I had to say, I would say 35%, 45%, though, it's pretty low.
And with the coaching culture and basketball culture being predominantly African American and black, because that's typically generally the dominant demographic in basketball, right? Do you think there's a stigma around us because of that?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Me, I try to make it more diverse as possible. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but, you know, I have kids that are biracial. Me, I don't care if they're black, white, brown, whatever color. How can we all come together? You know what I mean? Sometimes it don't work out that way, you know. Some programs want to play at some places because they're comfortable that way. I understand that. But me, I want it to be diverse, though.
And my bad, one more question, because I'm going to ask this one to a lot of people too. Do you think AAU culture has now gotten to a point where it's a win at all costs mentality, even to the point of development for some kids, right? That's the stigma I get as a coach and being in this AU world and on the top side of it, I guess, to a degree. I hear, it's a win at all costs, win at all costs. That's that win above all, right? It's even at the detriment of development for the kids, even at the detriment of development of relationships. It's all about winning and getting ahead, right?
And I think that's where AAU gets lost right now. You know what I mean? Coaches, they don't want to crawl before they walk. And what I mean is a lot of coaches want to come in here, win, chase medals, but they don't want to develop kids. You know what I mean? Develop your kids, you got to crawl before you walk. And I feel like if you develop your kids, though, you'll have a longevity of your program, and it'll benefit the kids a lot more and stuff, though. So when I see it happen, I'm like, are you here for the kids, or are you here for yourself? Because it looks like you're here for yourself, though. And that's what I don't like about it, though, So.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your time, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, good, brother. Appreciate it.